Have you ever whispered to your money only to watch it ignore you completely and vanish from your life? It's a strange question, I know. But what if I told you that your financial life is about to transform because you've been speaking the wrong language to your wealth all along? Think about it. You work hard, you get paid, and then, almost like magic, your money performs its favorite disappearing act. Bills, rent, groceries, that necessary coffee run, and suddenly you're staring at your bank balance wondering, where did it all go? That sinking feeling in your stomach as you realize you're right back where you started? Has this ever happened to you? But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the world. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. You're not alone. Millions of people are trapped in this exhausting cycle, feeling powerless as their money seems to have a mind of its own. But here's the truth that financial institutions don't want you to discover. Money isn't just currency, it's energy. And energy always responds to commands. Yes, you read that correctly. Money actually listens to you. It obeys. It follows instructions. The problem isn't that money doesn't listen. It's that you've been giving it the wrong commands without even realizing it. Every time you mutter, "I'm always broke," or "I can never afford what I want," or "money just slips through my fingers," you're literally instructing your finances to behave exactly that way. Your words are powerful currency themselves, programming your financial reality with each syllable you utter. What you're about to discover in the next few minutes might completely transform your relationship with money. This isn't some get-rich-quick scheme or complicated investment strategy. It's much simpler and far more powerful. It's about understanding the secret language that money responds to and how to use it to command your finances to multiply rather than disappear. Stay with me until the end because I'm going to share a specific phrase, a command that when spoken daily with conviction begins to reprogram your entire financial energy field. People who have mastered this technique don't chase money. They simply instruct it to come to them. And remarkably, it obeys. Imagine waking up tomorrow and speaking to your money in a way that it actually understands, a language that makes it multiply rather than flee. Imagine your bank account growing instead of shrinking, your financial stress dissolving, unexpected opportunities appearing as if by magic. This isn't fantasy. It's about aligning yourself with the true nature of wealth. What most people never realize is that our financial patterns aren't random. They're precise responses to the commands we've been unconsciously giving. The wealthy have known this secret for centuries, whispering to their money in ways that make it obey and multiply. And now, you're about to learn exactly how they do it. If these money commands are transforming your perspective, hit subscribe now to continue your abundance journey. I share powerful prosperity secrets that most financial gurus will never tell you. You've now discovered the secret command that transforms your entire financial reality, the power to speak to money in a language it understands and obeys. This journey we've taken together isn't just about financial techniques. It's about reclaiming your sovereignty as the commanding presence in your prosperity story. The principles we've explored work whether you believe in them or not, just as gravity doesn't require your faith to function. As you implement these practices in your daily life, you'll begin noticing subtle shifts that eventually create massive transformation. Remember, what seems like coincidence to others is simply confirmation to you, evidence that you're aligning with the natural laws that govern prosperity. Each small win becomes a stepping stone to greater abundance. If you found value in these revelations today, I'd love for you to join our community of conscious creators by subscribing to this channel. We explore these principles regularly, digging deeper than conventional financial advice ever dares to go. Each video is designed to activate another dimension of your prosperity, consciousness, without wasting your precious time. I'm curious to know what resonated most deeply with you today. If you've stayed with me until this point, type "Money obeys my command" in the comments. This simple act actually reinforces your commitment to these principles while connecting you with others on the same journey. If you appreciated our time together, a simple like on this video helps others discover these transformative principles too. It's a small gesture that creates ripples of positive impact as more people reclaim their financial sovereignty. There's a video right here that reveals the next level of this money mastery journey: how to program your subconscious mind for automatic wealth attraction while you sleep. Click and continue with me over there, because what you've learned today is just the beginning of your prosperity transformation. The truth is, we've been sabotaging our financial destinies through something so simple yet profound: our everyday language. Think about the phrases that slip out of your mouth when you check your bank account or when a bill arrives. I'm always broke. Money is so tight this month. I can never seem to get ahead. These aren't just harmless observations or temporary frustrations. They're powerful commands to the universe. Your mind doesn't recognize these statements as complaints. It interprets them as instructions. Every time you declare, "I never have enough," you're literally programming your subconscious to maintain that exact reality. It's like setting your GPS to Scarcity Street and then wondering why you keep ending up in the same financial neighborhood month after month. This hidden truth explains why so many people remain trapped in cycles of lack despite working harder and earning more. Now I can almost hear some of you thinking, "Oh great, another just think positive and money will rain down lecture." Let me stop you right there. I'm not going to tell you to stand in front of your mirror at 5 a.m. shouting, "I am wealthy," while your roommate questions your sanity. That surface-level approach rarely creates lasting transformation. The mindset shift I'm revealing goes far deeper than mere positivity. This journey isn't about denying reality or pretending your financial challenges don't exist. It's about understanding the profound impact your words have on your financial energy field and making subtle yet powerful adjustments that actually work. The wealthy elite have understood this principle for centuries. It's one of those behind-the-scenes secrets that creates the invisible divide between those who struggle with money and those who seem to attract it effortlessly. What makes this approach different is its practicality. No fluff, no unrealistic promises, no complicated systems. Just precise, targeted adjustments to how you communicate with money. The revelations I'm sharing come from ancient wisdom combined with modern psychology, creating a blueprint for financial transformation that bypasses the typical roadblocks of traditional financial advice. Consider this: words create worlds. The same mouth that declares lack can declare abundance. The same mind that focuses on scarcity can pivot toward prosperity. But the difference isn't just in saying positive things. It's in understanding the specific frequency that money responds to. It's learning to speak money's native language instead of the dialect of lack we've been taught since childhood. When you begin this practice, something remarkable happens. The universe doesn't just hear your new commands, it responds to them. Little synchronicities start appearing. An unexpected refund shows up. A forgotten invoice gets paid. A new opportunity presents itself. These aren't coincidences. They're confirmations that you're finally speaking the language that money understands. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by revealing the specific formula for commanding money, the exact words and energy that transform your financial frequency from repelling wealth to magnetizing it. This isn't just about affirmations. It's about aligning your entire being with the natural laws of abundance that govern our universe. If this resonates with you so far, write in the comments, "I'm ready to command, not chase." Let's continue our exploration of this powerful principle that most financial advisors will never tell you about. The real breakthrough happens when you understand this hidden truth. No matter how hard you work, how meticulously you budget, or how responsible you are with your finances, money will continue to slip through your fingers if you're approaching it from the wrong paradigm. Look around at all the hard-working people struggling financially. The missing piece isn't effort. It's understanding the fundamental difference between chasing money and commanding it. Most of us were programmed from childhood to chase money. We were taught that financial success requires struggle, sacrifice, and constant pursuit. This chase mentality creates an energetic blueprint that actually repels the very thing you're seeking. It's like trying to catch a butterfly. The harder you run after it, the faster it flies away. This revelation transformed my entire relationship with wealth when I finally grasped it. When you chase money, you're operating from a foundation of fear. Fear of not having enough. Fear of falling behind. Fear of being judged as unsuccessful. This fear-based approach creates tension in your energy field that money can actually sense. Yes, money is sensitive to your energetic state. Shocking as it may sound, fear acts like a powerful repellent in the financial realm, pushing away the very prosperity you're desperately seeking. The profound shift happens when you stop seeing yourself as the pursuer and start recognizing yourself as the commander. This isn't about arrogance or entitlement. It's about aligning with the natural laws that govern energy. Exchange in our universe. When you command money, you're no longer begging for financial crumbs. You're standing in your authentic power, directing the flow of abundance with purpose and intention. Think of it as a complete identity transformation. The chaser says, "Please, I need more money. Why won't it come to me?" The commander declares, "Money flows to me easily because that is the natural order." Notice the different vibrations these statements carry. One positions you as a victim. The other establishes you as the authority in your financial kingdom. This mindset revolution isn't taught in schools or conventional financial education. It's the behind-the-scenes wisdom that creates the invisible dividing line between those who struggle financially despite their best efforts and those who seem to attract wealth with apparent ease. The journey from chaser to commander represents one of the most powerful decisions you'll ever make on your path to prosperity. What's fascinating is how this shift affects your entire approach to wealth. When you chase money, you're constantly looking outside yourself for the solution, believing that some external circumstance needs to change before you can prosper. When you command, you recognize that you are the source, the catalyst that activates the flow of abundance through your intentional direction. The psychological impact of this shift cannot be overstated. It releases the stranglehold of scarcity thinking and opens up new neural pathways associated with sufficiency and abundance. It transforms how you approach opportunities, conversations about money, and even how you physically carry yourself in the world. If you've recognized yourself in the chaser description and are ready to step into your power as a commander of wealth, type "from chaser to commander" in the comments. Now let's explore exactly what this commanding energy looks and feels like in practice. Let me share a powerful metaphor that completely shifted my understanding of wealth dynamics. Think of money as a loyal dog. Yes, you heard that right. A dog. Have you ever seen someone panic and chase after their dog when it gets loose? What happens? The dog runs faster, thinking it's a game. The more frantically you chase, the more quickly it darts away. This exact dynamic happens with your finances. When you operate from anxiety, constantly checking your accounts with dread, worrying about bills, or frantically pursuing the next opportunity with desperation in your energy, money senses this and responds accordingly by running in the opposite direction. This explains why the most desperate financial pursuits often yield the poorest results. It's not bad luck, it's energetic physics at work. Now imagine a different approach. Picture someone who stands calmly in their yard with quiet confidence and authority, simply calling their dog. What happens? The dog naturally comes trotting back, responding to that centered energy. This is the essence of the commander mindset, standing firm in your financial sovereignty rather than scampering after dollars with anxiety as your companion. This revelation unlocks a profound secret. Your approach to money matters more than your actions around it. Two people can implement identical financial strategies with dramatically different outcomes based solely on the energy they bring to the process. One approaches from anxiety, the other from authority, and the universe responds to each accordingly. Moving from theory to practice, the first crucial step in commanding money is to immediately stop giving it negative instructions. Your words carry power beyond what conventional thinking acknowledges. They're not just expressions of your reality, they're architects of it. Every time phrases like, "I can't afford that," "I'm always broke," or "money just slips through my fingers" escape your lips, you're essentially sending cosmic emails with the subject line, "Keep wealth away from me." Behind the scenes of the physical world exists an energetic realm that operates on intention and command. Your words function as direct orders to this realm. The universe doesn't judge these commands as good or bad. It simply fulfills them with remarkable precision. The mind-blowing revelation here is that the universe takes your statements as serious instructions, not as casual observations or temporary complaints. Subscribe now to master the hidden language of money. Join thousands of others who are learning to command wealth instead of chasing it. Your financial breakthrough is just one click away. This explains the perplexing phenomenon of why some people seem stuck in financial quicksand despite their best efforts. Their decision to consistently speak lack-based language creates an energetic blueprint that the universe faithfully follows. The extraordinary insight is that changing your financial reality begins with changing the instructions you're sending through your everyday speech. The transformation begins when you become aware of how frequently these negative money commands slip out unnoticed. Start monitoring your speech patterns around finances. Become the guardian at the gate of your words. Each time you catch yourself about to utter a scarcity command, pause and consciously redirect. This heightened awareness represents the first milestone on your journey from financial frustration to abundant flow. If you're recognizing how your own words may have been sabotaging your financial reality, type "guarding my money" words in the comments. Let's explore what happens when you flip these negative commands into powerful prosperity instructions. The true catalyst for financial transformation comes when you flip these negative money commands into powerful declarations of abundance. This isn't about denying reality or pretending your challenges don't exist. It's about strategically redirecting the energy you're sending into the universe. Instead of, "I can't afford that," begin saying, "I'm choosing to direct my resources elsewhere right now." Replace, "I'm always broke" with, "Money flows to me freely and consistently." Shift from, "I never have enough" to "Every dollar I spend multiplies and returns to me." This subtle pivot creates a seismic shift in your financial ecosystem. What makes this approach different from mere positive thinking is the intention behind it. You're not just trying to feel better, you're actually programming your reality by declaring how things will be, even when they're not yet visible in your physical world. This is the hidden truth that mystics and wealth masters have understood for centuries. Your declarations shape the invisible template that physical reality eventually conforms to. The illuminating insight here is that you're not lying to yourself when you make these powerful declarations despite current circumstances. You're operating from a higher dimension of consciousness where you understand that reality follows your commands rather than dictating them. This perspective shift represents one of the most profound decisions you can make on your prosperity journey, choosing to command reality rather than simply reporting on it. The second crucial element in this process is appreciating the money you currently have, regardless of how little it might seem. Gratitude functions as potent fertilizer for financial growth. When you despise your small beginnings or focus on what's lacking, you energetically block the flow of greater abundance. The universe responds to your emotional relationship with money more than to the actual amounts in your accounts. Each time money enters your life, whether it's your paycheck, a found coin, or even a small refund, take a moment to acknowledge it with genuine appreciation. Hold it in your hand, physically or metaphorically, and say, "Thank you." This multiplies in divine order. This simple practice infuses your money with positive energy and gives it a clear assignment to grow and return to you multiplied. This gratitude practice creates a fascinating psychological and spiritual impact. It immediately shifts your focus from scarcity to sufficiency, from what you lack to what you already possess. This mindset revolution interrupts the chronic dissatisfaction that keeps most people energetically repelling wealth. When you honor what you have, you create sacred space for more to enter. Behind this practice lies a powerful universal principle. Energy flows where appreciation goes. When you consistently appreciate money, you become a more attractive field for it to flow toward. Think of gratitude as creating a magnetic force that draws more financial blessings into your experience. The revelation here is that appreciation isn't just a nice sentiment. It's a tangible force that rearranges your financial reality. What's fascinating is how this practice begins changing your nervous system over time. Your relationship with money transforms from one of anxiety to one of partnership. You begin recognizing money as a responsive energy that's attuned to your commands and appreciation, rather than as an elusive force that's always beyond your grasp. If you're inspired to start blessing your money today, type "blessing every dollar" in the comments. Now let's examine how giving with the right energy creates even more powerful financial momentum. The third dimension of this financial mastery involves a complete revolution in how you approach giving. Most people give from fear. They part with money while inwardly cringing, feeling loss, or secretly hoping they won't regret their generosity. This energetic signature completely undermines the universal principle of circulation that governs prosperity. The paradigm shift happens when you recognize that giving isn't losing, it's planting. Consider the wisdom of the farmer. When he places a seed in the ground, does he mourn the loss of that seed? Does he stand over the soil, lamenting, "Oh, I just lost a perfectly good seed"? Of course not. He celebrates the planting because he understands the invisible law of multiplication. He knows with absolute certainty that one seed will return as many. This agricultural insight reveals one of the most transformative principles in the prosperity universe. The soil doesn't question the seed's worthiness to multiply. It doesn't decide to return only 50% on some seeds and 200% on others based on arbitrary judgments. It simply responds to what's planted, multiplying it according to its kind. The universe operates on this exact same principle with your money. The revelation that changes everything is understanding that the universe is like fertile soil for your financial energy. It multiplies whatever you plant, but with one crucial caveat. It responds not just to your action of giving, but to the consciousness behind that giving. When you give with resentment, obligation, or manipulation, you plant seeds infused with those limiting energies. When you give with joy, faith, and genuine abundance consciousness, you plant seeds encoded for magnificent multiplication. This brings us to the profound foundation underlying all money commands, your mindset. This is where so many prosperity practices fail. You cannot command money from a place of lack and expect abundance to respond. If you feel desperate, anxious, or doubtful while declaring prosperity affirmations, your energy creates dissonance that the universe cannot reconcile. Think of it like trying to convince someone to trust you while your voice trembles with uncertainty. You might say all the right words, but your energetic tone betrays you. The universe responds primarily to your vibration, not your words. This explains why simply repeating prosperity affirmations often yields disappointing results. There's an invisible contradiction between what you're saying and what you're broadcasting energetically. The journey toward authentic financial command requires inner alignment. Your conscious declarations must harmonize with your subconscious beliefs. This alignment process represents the spiritual alchemy that transforms ordinary prosperity practices into extraordinary money magnetism. When your words, emotions, beliefs, and energy field all broadcast the same message, you become an uninterrupted channel for abundance to flow through. This alignment doesn't happen overnight. It's cultivated through consistent practice and gentle persistence. Each time you catch yourself in financial anxiety, pause and reconnect with your center of abundance. Each time you notice lack-based thoughts circulating, compassionately redirect them toward prosperity consciousness. This inner work creates the fertile ground where your money commands can take root and flourish. If you're committed to aligning your energy with your prosperity declarations, Type "aligning my money energy" in the comments. Let's explore how to practically implement this alignment in your daily life. The breakthrough insight that separates those who struggle financially from those who thrive comes down to one word: alignment. This is where the rubber meets the road on your prosperity journey. You can declare, "Money multiplies for me 1,000 times daily," but if you're simultaneously panicking about paying rent or secretly harboring doubts about your financial worthiness, you're sending conflicting signals to the universe. It's like pressing the gas and brake pedals simultaneously. You create tremendous energy, but minimal movement. This misalignment explains why many sincere seekers remain frustrated despite their dedicated affirmation practices. The universe responds not to what you're saying, but to your dominant vibration. If your words speak abundance, while your emotional state broadcasts scarcity, the universe will always prioritize the stronger signal, which, unfortunately, is usually the emotional one. This revelation illuminates why mindset transformation must precede financial transformation. Alignment begins with cultivating inner peace. You must settle the panic within before you can command results in the external world. This sequencing is non-negotiable. Think of it as establishing energetic coherence. Before making prosperity declarations, take a deep breath. Inhale peace. Exhale fear. Feel a calm confidence rising from your center. This centering practice creates the optimal state from which to issue financial commands. The fascinating discovery here is that peace itself is a prosperity state. When you're genuinely at peace with your current financial situation, not denying challenges but refusing to be defined by them, you instantly become more magnetic to abundance. Peace signals to the universe that you're ready to receive more because you're not desperately grasping from lack. This counterintuitive principle explains why some people attract financial windfalls during their most centered moments, rather than during their most frantic pursuits. Now, let's bridge this understanding into a practical daily ritual that will begin rewiring your financial operating system. Each morning before checking your phone or rushing into the day's activities, take just 1 minute to command your money. Stand tall, breathe deeply, and declare with quiet authority, "My money multiplies. Unexpected income flows to me. Every opportunity that leads to increase finds me easily. I am in harmony with divine wealth." Say these words aloud with conviction, as if you're activating a powerful force within and around you, because you are. Don't whisper them timidly or rush through them like a memorized script. Speak them with the calm certainty of someone who understands how the universe works and is simply engaging its laws appropriately. This isn't wishful thinking, it's conscious creation. The first few times you practice this money command, it might feel strange or even uncomfortable. That discomfort is actually a positive sign. It indicates you're stretching beyond your comfort zone and disrupting old patterns. You're literally rewiring your inner conversation with money, creating new neural pathways and energetic signatures. The initial awkwardness is simply the growing pain of your prosperity consciousness expanding. What makes this morning ritual so powerful is its position in your daily timeline. By commanding money before engaging with external demands and distractions, you're setting the energetic template for your day. You're establishing abundance as your default vibration, rather than allowing circumstances to dictate your financial frequency. This proactive approach represents a profound shift from reactive financial anxiety to creative financial authority. If you're committing to this 1-minute morning money command ritual, type "Morning Money Commander" in the comments. Let's explore how quickly this practice can begin shifting your financial reality. A question that naturally arises when you begin this practice is, how long will it take to see results? The answer mirrors nature's own wisdom, the same time it takes for a seed to grow, which depends entirely on the soil. This agricultural parallel reveals a profound truth about financial manifestation. Just as seeds germinate at different rates depending on soil conditions, your prosperity commands materialize at varying speeds depending on your mental environment. If your mind is filled with doubt, resentment, skepticism, or envy, you create acidic mental soil that delays your harvest. Every worry about whether this will actually work is like pouring vinegar on a seedling. Conversely, when your mind is rich with gratitude, peace, and positive expectation, you're creating optimal conditions for rapid financial growth. Your thoughts are quite literally the fertilizer for your financial future. This revelation illuminates why two people can practice identical prosperity techniques with dramatically different timelines and results. The decisive factor isn't the technique itself, but the mental ecosystem in which it's being implemented. This understanding empowers you to accelerate your manifestation timeline by consciously cultivating fertile mental soil. Your mindset isn't just a passive factor, it's the active catalyst that determines your manifestation velocity. Another crucial clarification that prevents common misunderstandings. This approach is not about sitting back and doing nothing while magical money falls from the sky. Commanding money isn't supernatural magic, it's spiritual and psychological mastery. You still take inspired action, pursue opportunities, develop skills, deliver value, and make wise decisions. The revolutionary difference is that these actions now spring from a completely different source. The transformation happens when your actions are guided by faith rather than fear. Consider how differently you approach tasks, conversations, and opportunities when you're operating from confidence versus desperation. When fear drives your financial activities, you make decisions from scarcity, often undermining your own success through hesitation, compromise, or aggressive pushing. When faith guides your actions, you move with a calm certainty that attracts rather than repels favorable circumstances. This shift in action orientation changes everything. The same job interview, investment decision, or business conversation yields wildly different outcomes depending on whether you're approaching it from fear or faith. This explains why some people seem to effortlessly attract ideal opportunities while others struggle despite similar qualifications. Your internal operating system, fear or faith, broadcasts a distinct frequency that either attracts or repels prosperity. The behind-the-scenes insight is that the universe responds not just to what you do, but to the consciousness from which you do it. Two people can perform identical actions with completely different energetic signatures and, consequently, receive different results. The quality of your consciousness infuses your actions like DNA, programming them for certain outcomes. When your actions carry the DNA of faith rather than fear, they become exponentially more effective. This perspective redefines productivity itself. True productivity isn't about frenetic activity or exhausting hustle. It's about aligned action, doing the right things from the right consciousness. This paradigm liberates you from the hamster wheel of anxious striving and introduces you to a more elegant approach to prosperity. You work smarter, not harder, because your actions are synchronized with universal principles rather than operating in opposition to them. If you've noticed how fear-based actions often lead to disappointing results despite your best efforts, type faith over fear in the comments. Let's examine how the universe actually responds to your new commanding energy. Here's one of the most liberating revelations in the prosperity journey. Money doesn't come to you because you need it. In fact, energetically speaking, need actually repels. This counterintuitive principle explains why financial situations often seem to worsen precisely when your desperation increases. Need broadcasts a frequency of lack, and the universe responds by matching that frequency, delivering more experiences that generate the same feeling of need. The remarkable transformation happens when you understand that money comes to you because you've aligned your thoughts, words, and actions with abundance. This alignment creates a state of energetic resonance that naturally attracts prosperity. Think of yourself as a radio. When you're tuned to the abundance station, you receive abundance broadcasts. When you're tuned to the scarcity station, you receive scarcity broadcasts. Your internal frequency determines your external reality. What's fascinating about this principle is how it manifests in practical ways. When you're properly tuned to abundance, money finds you through seemingly miraculous channels. Inspired ideas appear at just the right moment. Unexpected opportunities knock at your door. People from your past suddenly reconnect with valuable offers, and synchronicities unfold that bring financial blessings you couldn't have logically planned. This isn't mystical thinking. It's a recognition of how energy works in our interconnected universe. Your consciousness emits a specific frequency, and that frequency attracts resonant experiences. The physics of prosperity follows consistent patterns that operate whether you believe in them or not. When you consciously work with these patterns rather than unconsciously working against them, your entire financial experience undergoes a metamorphosis. Let me share a real-world example that perfectly illustrates this principle in action. There was a woman who found herself down to her last $5. Instead of succumbing to panic and broadcasting the frequency of desperate need, she made a conscious decision to implement the commanding principle. She held that $5 in her hand, blessed it, and declared with calm certainty, "This multiplies and returns to me in miraculous ways." The decisive factor in her story wasn't just the words she spoke, but the consciousness behind them. She refused to see that $5 as a symbol of lack. Instead, she recognized it as a seed with multiplicative potential. That very day, not months later, not years later, but that very day, she happened to reconnect with an old friend who mentioned needing help with a small freelance project. Within a week, that blessed $5 had multiplied into $500. Some might dismiss this as mere coincidence, but when you understand the mechanics of consciousness and how it interfaces with the field of infinite possibilities, you recognize it as command in action. The woman didn't just randomly stumble into good fortune, she deliberately shifted her frequency from need to command, and the universe responded accordingly. This narrative reveals the journey from victim consciousness to creator consciousness, from being at the mercy of circumstances to being the architect of your reality. The revelation that changes everything is recognizing that these coincidences follow a pattern. They consistently appear when you shift from fear-based consciousness to faith-based consciousness. Your internal landscape determines what grows in your external garden. When you plant seeds of lack, you harvest more lack. When you plant seeds of abundance, you harvest more abundance. If you've experienced unexpected financial blessings after shifting your mindset, type Abundance Activator in the comments. Now let's explore a powerful daily declaration that will accelerate your financial transformation. Now I want to offer you a simple but extraordinarily powerful exercise that will accelerate your financial transformation. For the next 7 days, just 1 week, commit to making this your daily declaration. My money is my obedient servant. It multiplies, circulates, and returns to me abundantly. Say this with conviction each morning as part of your awakening ritual. This isn't just another affirmation to mindlessly repeat. It's a command to the universe that requires your full presence. The crucial element here isn't just speaking the words, but fully embodying them. As you declare this command, allow yourself to smile. Yes, physically smile. This subtle shift activates a different neurological pattern that makes your brain more receptive to new beliefs. As you speak, consciously visualize your bank balance growing, debts clearing away, and financial abundance flowing into your life from expected and unexpected sources. This visualization isn't fantasy. It's energetically programming the blueprint that reality will eventually follow. What makes this declaration particularly potent is the relationship it establishes with money. By claiming money as your obedient servant, you fundamentally restructure your relationship with wealth. You're no longer the desperate seeker, you're the confident commander. This identity shift creates a profound ripple effect throughout your entire financial ecosystem. The hidden truth that will emerge as you practice this 7-day challenge is the undeniable evidence of its effectiveness. You'll begin noticing what I call prosperity confirmations, small wins that appear in your daily experience. Perhaps you'll receive an unexpected discount on a purchase. Maybe a forgotten refund will suddenly arrive. Or you might encounter a surprisingly valuable idea that solves a financial challenge. Pay attention to these subtle shifts. They're not random coincidences, but direct confirmations that your new commands are being received. What's happening behind the scenes during this process is remarkable. Every word you speak carries creative power. It's energy in motion. The more consistently you command wealth with conviction, the more natural this new relationship with money becomes. It's like developing any skill, awkward at first, but increasingly fluid with practice. Your prosperity consciousness is literally being rewired with each declaration, creating new neural pathways and energetic signatures. This 7-day journey initiates a profound mindset revolution. You're not just changing what you say about money, you're transforming how you relate to it at your core. This shift ripples outward, affecting how you perceive opportunities, how you make financial decisions, and ultimately, how money responds to your presence. The universe isn't randomly selecting who receives abundance. It's precisely responding to the commands each person is consciously or unconsciously issuing. The beauty of this practice lies in its simplicity and accessibility. You don't need special training, expensive programs, or complex systems. You simply need the willingness to speak with authority and the openness to recognize the evidence when it appears. This fundamental shift from financial victim to financial commander represents one of the most significant transformations in your prosperity journey. If you're committing to this 7-day declaration challenge, type, "I command my money," in the comments. Let's explore how this commanding energy begins to reshape not just your finances, but your entire identity. One of the most profound transformations that occurs when you begin practicing these principles is the fundamental shift in your identity. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of your financial circumstances and start embodying the role of their architect. This paradigm revolution changes everything about your relationship with money. It's the difference between meekly hoping maybe things will get better someday and confidently declaring things are already getting better. One posture begs, the other builds. This identity shift represents the ultimate mindset. Breakthrough. When you position yourself as the victim, you surrender your power to external forces, the economy, your employer, your circumstances. You place yourself at the mercy of conditions beyond your control. But when you step into the role of architect, you reclaim your creative authority. You recognize that while you can't control every external circumstance, you absolutely can control the blueprint from which you're building your financial reality. Consider the profound psychological impact this shift creates. Victims feel powerless, anxious, and resentful about money. Architects feel purposeful, confident, and at peace with their financial journey. This internal transformation inevitably manifests external changes. Your relationship with money becomes collaborative rather than adversarial. Money begins responding to your presence differently because you're approaching it differently, not from fear, but from sovereignty. Let me crystallize the essential principles we've explored in this journey toward financial command. First and foremost, understand that money is energy, conscious, responsive energy that listens and responds to your words. It's not deaf or blind to your commands. It's extraordinarily sensitive to them. Second, immediately stop giving negative financial orders and begin blessing your money instead. Your words are programming your prosperity, so choose them with intention. Third, align your emotions with peace and gratitude rather than anxiety and lack. Your emotional state creates the fertile soil where your prosperity seeds either thrive or wither. Fourth, give with faith rather than fear, recognizing that circulation fuels abundance. The energy behind your giving determines what returns to you. And finally, make commanding money a daily habit rather than a one-time experiment. Consistency creates the momentum that transforms occasional financial breakthroughs into a consistent prosperity lifestyle. What makes these principles so revolutionary is that they operate on multiple dimensions simultaneously: psychological, spiritual, and practical. They work with the natural laws that govern energy exchange in our universe rather than fighting against them. They align you with the flow of abundance rather than positioning you in opposition to it. This alignment is what creates the seemingly miraculous financial shifts that many experience when they begin implementing these commands. The fascinating revelation here is that you've always been commanding your money. You just didn't realize it. Every complaint, every worry, every fear-based statement has been sending precise instructions to your financial reality. Now, you're simply becoming conscious of this process and deliberately redirecting it toward what you actually desire to experience. This awakening to your creative power represents one of the most significant evolutions in your financial consciousness. The decision to transform from victim to architect isn't just about changing your words. It's about fundamentally reimagining your relationship with the universe itself. It's recognizing that you're not a passive observer of reality, but an active participant in its creation. This perspective shift doesn't happen overnight, but each time you practice these principles, you strengthen your identity as the commanding presence in your financial kingdom. If you've been experiencing the disempowering effects of victim consciousness in your financial life, type Financial Architect Rising in the comments. Let's explore how to train your money to work for you even when you're not paying attention. Now I want to take your relationship with money to an even more profound level. You've learned how to command money, but let's elevate this practice by training your money to work for you even when you're not consciously paying attention. This advanced approach is what separates casual practitioners from true prosperity masters. Anyone can say affirmations for a day or two when they remember, but transformative financial results come to those who turn these practices into a consistent habit, a rhythm, a daily way of thinking and being that becomes as natural as breathing. Think of it like developing any essential skill. When you first learn to drive, you consciously think about every movement, turning the key, pressing the pedals, checking mirrors. But with practice, these actions become automatic, happening below the level of conscious thought. Your relationship with money follows this same pattern of evolution. Initially, commanding money requires deliberate focus, but eventually, it becomes your default operating system. The revelation that illuminates this entire process is understanding that money is a precise reflection of your inner order. This mirror principle explains why some people seem perpetually stuck in financial chaos despite their best efforts. If your thoughts are scattered, disorganized, and contradictory, your finances will inevitably mirror that internal landscape. This isn't punishment, it's resonance. Your financial reality is responding to the dominant frequency you're broadcasting. Consider what happens when bills arrive in your mailbox. If you immediately panic, feeling your stomach tighten and your breathing become shallow, you create vibrations of fear that literally drive money away from you. Money, as conscious energy, is extraordinarily sensitive to emotional frequencies. It naturally moves away from anxiety, just as animals retreat from threatening environments. This energetic dynamic explains the paradoxical experience of money problems intensifying precisely when you're most worried about them. The decisive shift occurs when you begin thinking, speaking, and acting with calm confidence around money. When you maintain this centered presence, money feels safe in your environment. It stays, grows, and multiplies. This isn't metaphorical. It's the physics of energy. Money responds to your energetic signature just as plants respond to optimal growing conditions. When you create an internal environment of peace and certainty, you become magnetic to financial abundance. This insight reveals why identical financial strategies yield different results for different people. Two individuals can implement the same investment approach, business model, or saving technique, yet experience dramatically different outcomes based solely on their internal financial order. The strategy itself is secondary to the consciousness operating it. Your inner landscape determines what grows in your outer experience. The journey toward mastery involves cultivating this inner order not as an occasional practice, but as your consistent state of being. It's about creating a new normal, where financial confidence becomes your default rather than something you struggle to maintain. This evolution represents one of the most significant upgrades to your prosperity operating system, moving from conscious effort to unconscious competence. If you're beginning to recognize how your inner financial landscape has been shaping your outer results, type "inner order creates outer abundance" in the comments. Let's explore how to create structure that trains your money to follow specific instructions. A profound secret that most financial advisors never mention is that money responds to structure just as powerfully as it responds to energy. Think about what happens when you hand someone your valuables without clear instructions. They might lose them, misuse them, or simply stare at them confused about your intentions. Money operates according to this same principle. It requires clear direction to fulfill its highest purpose in your life. This revelation illuminates why so many people experience what I call financial evaporation. They receive money, but without clear instructions, it simply wanders aimlessly through their lives, eventually disappearing without creating lasting value or returns. This pattern creates the perplexing experience of constantly earning but never accumulating wealth. The hidden truth isn't that you're not making enough, it's that you're not directing what you make with sufficient clarity and intention. The transformation begins with a simple yet revolutionary practice: assigning specific purpose to every dollar that enters your life. When money comes to you, whether through your paycheck, a gift, or an unexpected refund, don't just toss it into your wallet or deposit it into your bank account like meaningless currency. Instead, take a moment to actually speak to it. Yes, speak to it directly, out loud. You're here to multiply. You're here to create opportunities. You're here to bring me peace and growth. This practice might initially feel strange, even uncomfortable. That discomfort is simply the resistance that arises whenever we break old patterns. Remember, you're not talking to paper or digital numbers. You're addressing responsive energy that's awaiting your instructions. This subtle shift in how you receive money creates a completely different energetic signature around your finances. You're no longer treating money as an impersonal resource, but as a conscious ally in your prosperity journey. The mindset revolution happens when you recognize that every financial interaction is actually a form of communication. Each time money enters or leaves your life, you're engaging in an energetic conversation. Most people conduct these conversations unconsciously, broadcasting confusion and anxiety. When you begin consciously directing these exchanges, you fundamentally alter the entire dynamic of your financial ecosystem. Behind the scenes of this practice lies a profound psychological principle. When you assign clear purpose to your money, you create neural pathways that support financial clarity rather than confusion. Your brain begins organizing your financial decisions according to these purposes, rather than responding reactively to immediate desires or fears. This cognitive restructuring creates a foundation for wealth building that transcends mere budgeting techniques or saving strategies. What's fascinating is how quickly money begins responding when you implement this practice consistently. It's almost as if it was waiting for clear leadership all along. Your financial energy becomes more focused, more directed, and consequently more powerful. Resources that previously seemed to slip through your fingers begin accumulating according to your instructions. Opportunities align more precisely with your financial intentions. The scattered nature of your previous financial experience gives way to a coherent pattern of growth. This decisive shift in how you relate to money represents one of the most significant upgrades to your prosperity consciousness. You're no longer merely hoping money behaves differently. You're providing the structure and direction it requires to fulfill its highest purpose in your life. If you're ready to start directing your money with clear purpose rather than letting it wander aimlessly, type "money follows my direction" in the comments. Let's explore how keeping money in continuous, purposeful movement accelerates your financial growth. Another breakthrough principle that transforms your financial experience is understanding that money loves movement. Just as water stagnates when it sits still too long, money that remains idle begins to lose its vital energy. This isn't just metaphorical. It's a fundamental law of prosperity that explains why some people who actively circulate their finances experience greater abundance than those who hoard out of fear. Think about what happens when you grip something too tightly. You cut off circulation, eventually causing damage. The same principle applies to your money. When you clutch it with anxiety, refusing to let it flow out of fear that you'll never get more, you actually constrict the very energy that would bring greater abundance into your life. This revelation challenges conventional thinking about wealth accumulation. It's not just about how much you keep, it's about how wisely you move what you have. This doesn't mean being reckless or impulsive with your finances. Rather, it's about ensuring that your money always has purpose and direction in its movement. The distinction here is crucial. It's not about investing solely in stocks, real estate, or traditional assets, though these may be part of your strategy. It's about investing in purpose. When you consciously direct money toward giving, supporting others, expanding your knowledge, or creating value, you're maintaining the vital energy that attracts more of itself. The hidden wisdom in this practice reveals why some people who give generously often receive even more abundantly. They're not depleting their resources, they're amplifying the energetic signature of their money by keeping it in purposeful motion. This circulation principle operates like a financial ecosystem. Just as nutrients must cycle through natural systems to maintain vitality, money must move through purposeful channels to maintain its magnetic power in your life. The third dimension of training your money involves a practice that most financial advisors completely overlook: visualization. This underappreciated habit creates extraordinary results because it works directly with the blueprint from which your physical reality is constructed. Each night before sleep, when your conscious mind is relaxing its grip on reality, close your eyes and visualize your money actively working and multiplying for you. See your wallet comfortably full, your bank account steadily increasing, and your investments expanding in value. Feel the gratitude and peace of financial abundance as if it's already manifested in your experience. This isn't fantasy or escapism. It's strategic programming of your subconscious mind, which doesn't distinguish between vividly imagined experiences and physical reality. What makes this practice so powerful is the neurological and energetic transformation it creates. Your subconscious mind accepts these images as instructions, much like a blueprint that reality will eventually conform to. Whatever your subconscious consistently believes, it inevitably builds in your physical experience. This explains why some people seem to manifest prosperity despite challenging circumstances. They've programmed their internal operating system to recognize and attract abundance, regardless of temporary external conditions. The psychological impact of this visualization practice extends far beyond your finances. It begins reshaping your entire relationship with prosperity. As you consistently imagine abundance, you naturally begin recognizing opportunities that previously would have escaped your attention. Your decision-making improves because you're operating from a mindset of sufficiency rather than scarcity. Your creative problem-solving abilities expand because your mental resources aren't depleted by constant financial anxiety. If you're committed to programming your subconscious for prosperity through visualization, type "wealth visualization activated" in the comments. Let's examine how releasing money guilt dramatically accelerates your financial transformation. One of the most significant barriers that prevents people from fully commanding their financial reality is hidden in plain sight: money guilt. Many sincere seekers try implementing prosperity practices while secretly harboring deep shame about wanting wealth. This internal contradiction creates a spiritual and psychological stalemate that no affirmation can overcome. The profound truth is that you simply cannot attract something you secretly feel ashamed of desiring. Your conscious commands for abundance are being sabotaged by your subconscious conviction that wanting money makes you somehow greedy or unspiritual. Let's dismantle this limiting belief once and for all. Wanting money isn't greedy, it's wise. Desiring financial abundance doesn't make you materialistic, it makes you practical. The transformative insight that liberates you from this false dichotomy is recognizing that money itself isn't inherently evil or virtuous. It's neutral. Money simply amplifies what's already within you. If you're naturally kind and compassionate, greater wealth enables you to express those qualities on a larger scale. If you're generous by nature, financial abundance allows you to bless others more abundantly. This revelation challenges the pervasive cultural programming that equates wealth with moral corruption. That narrative has been subtly implanted in your consciousness through countless stories, films, and even religious interpretations that portray wealthy people as inherently greedy or spiritually bankrupt. The hidden truth is that this narrative often serves those who benefit from keeping others financially disempowered. When you internalize the belief that money is somehow spiritually tainted, you unconsciously sabotage your own abundance. The decision to release this guilt represents one of the most profound mindset shifts in your prosperity journey. It's not just about saying you want more money. It's about genuinely believing you deserve it and that your life and the world will be better when you have it. This internal alignment creates the psychological foundation for your prosperity commands to take root and flourish. To facilitate this crucial transformation, speak this declaration with conviction. I release all guilt about money. I deserve abundance. I use it wisely and joyfully. This isn't just a positive statement. It's a powerful command to your subconscious mind that begins dismantling years of limiting programming. Each time you speak it, you're systematically removing the internal barriers that have been silently sabotaging your financial growth. What makes this declaration particularly potent is that it directly addresses the worthiness issue that underlies most money blocks. The fundamental truth that many spiritual seekers miss is that you must genuinely believe you deserve prosperity before it can fully manifest in your life. This isn't about ego or entitlement. It's about aligning your self-concept with the natural abundance of the universe. When you feel unworthy of wealth, you energetically repel it, regardless of what prosperity practices you implement. The fascinating psychological impact of releasing money guilt extends far beyond your finances. As you remove this block, you'll notice shifts in how you carry yourself, how you speak about financial matters, and how you respond to opportunities. Your entire prosperity vibration transforms when you no longer feel the need to apologize for wanting abundance. This authenticity creates a magnetic field that naturally attracts more financial blessings into your experience. If you've been struggling with feelings of guilt or unworthiness around money, type "I deserve abundance" in the comments. Let's explore how infusing your finances with joy creates an irresistible magnetism for prosperity. Now I want to reveal one of the most overlooked yet extraordinarily powerful keys to financial manifestation: joy. This element is so often missing from traditional financial advice, yet it creates a quantum leap in your prosperity results. Joy multiplies everything it touches. It's an energetic accelerant that transforms ordinary financial practices into extraordinary money magnetism. Haven't you noticed how money seems to flow more easily into your life during periods when you're genuinely happy, relaxed, or inspired? This isn't coincidental. It's causal. Joy creates a specific energetic frequency that the universe naturally responds to. It raises your vibration to a level that's magnetically attractive to prosperity. Think about it from an interpersonal perspective. Are you more likely to engage with someone who's radiating genuine happiness or someone emanating desperate need? The universe responds in precisely the same way. When you command money from a state of joy instead of desperation, the results materialize with remarkable speed and elegance. This revelation transforms how you approach every financial interaction in your life. Instead of treating money matters as serious, heavy burdens, begin infusing them with life force energy through the deliberate cultivation of joy. This isn't about denying challenges or pretending problems don't exist. It's about consciously choosing the emotional frequency from which you engage with your finances. Try this revolutionary approach. Dance while paying your bills. Yes, literally put on your favorite upbeat song and move your body as you handle your financial obligations. Play music that makes you feel abundant when checking your bank balance. Smile genuinely while giving money to others. These practices might seem trivial on the surface, but they create profound energetic shifts in your relationship with money. What's happening behind the scenes during these seemingly simple activities is remarkable. You're literally infusing your money with high-frequency emotional energy. The quantum physics of prosperity reveals that your emotional state during financial transactions actually imprints on the energy of the money itself, affecting how it moves in your life subsequently. The tsiwi, emotional quality of your financial interactions matters far more than the numerical amounts involved in the transactions themselves. This perspective liberates you from the weight of financial anxiety. Instead of dreading bill-paying time, you can transform it into a celebration of your ability to circulate energy. Instead of tensing when checking your accounts, you can approach it with curiosity and enthusiasm. This emotional revolution creates a completely different relationship with money, one based on partnership rather than fear. The fascinating journey of implementing joy in your financial practice reveals that money responds to emotional authenticity. When you pretend to be happy about money while secretly feeling stressed, the universe detects the incongruence. But when you genuinely cultivate states of appreciation, playfulness, and delight around your finances, you create an irresistible magnetic field that naturally draws more abundance toward you. This transformation in your financial frequency represents one of the most profound decisions you can make on your prosperity journey. By consciously choosing joy as your financial baseline, you're essentially reprogramming your entire relationship with abundance at the deepest level of your being. If you've noticed that money seems to flow more easily when you're in a positive emotional state, type "joy attracts money" in the comments. Let's examine how your everyday language around money might be silently sabotaging your financial growth. Now let's shine a light on an often overlooked aspect of your prosperity journey, one that might be silently sabotaging your financial growth right under your nose. Step 4 in mastering money commands involves vigilantly monitoring your inner dialogue throughout the day. Here's a hidden truth that explains why many prosperity practices fail. The casual things you say about money in everyday conversation matter far more than your formal morning affirmations. Think about it. You can stand in front of your mirror each morning declaring, "I am wealthy," with perfect conviction. But if you spend the rest of your day making offhand remarks like, "I can't afford this, that's way too expensive for me," or "I never have enough to make ends meet," you're literally canceling your own command. It's like planting seeds in the morning and then pouring weed killer on them all afternoon. This unconscious self-sabotage explains the perplexing disconnect between your intentional prosperity practices and your actual financial results. The journey toward financial mastery requires a revolutionary decision: becoming the guardian at the gate of your words. Begin catching yourself whenever limiting money statements attempt to escape your lips. This heightened awareness represents one of the most transformative practices on your prosperity path. Each time you intercept a scarcity statement before it's spoken, you're interrupting the old, programming and creating space for new financial patterns to emerge. The mindset breakthrough happens when you systematically replace every limiting statement with one that expands your financial reality. Instead of saying, "I can't afford it," pivot to, "It's not my priority right now, but it's coming." Rather than lamenting, "Money is so hard to make," declare, "Money finds me easily." Instead of complaining, "Everything is so expensive these days," shift to, "I'm grateful for the abundance I have access to." These linguistic pivots aren't merely cosmetic. They fundamentally rewire the energetic blueprint from which your financial reality is constructed. Behind the scenes of this practice lies a profound universal principle. Your everyday language creates your everyday reality. The words you casually use about money aren't just describing your circumstances. They're actively creating them. Most people have this equation backward. They believe they're simply reporting on their financial situation, when in fact, they're programming it with each statement. This revelation illuminates why some people remain stuck in financial patterns despite changing jobs, increasing income, or implementing new strategies. Their language keeps recreating the same energetic template. What makes this practice particularly powerful is its cumulative impact. Each time you substitute an expansive statement for a limiting one, you're casting a vote for your new financial identity. One substitution might seem insignificant, but hundreds of them over weeks and months create a complete revolution in your prosperity consciousness. Your subconscious mind begins accepting your new language patterns as instructions for reality creation. The fascinating observation I've made watching thousands implement this practice is how their financial circumstances begin mysteriously aligning with their new language patterns. Unexpected opportunities appear. Resources materialize from surprising sources. Financial challenges resolve themselves through unforeseen channels. These coincidences aren't random. They're precise responses to your shifted verbal commands. If you've caught yourself using limiting language about money without realizing its impact, type "watching my money" words in the comments. Now let's discover how gratitude journaling creates a powerful prosperity magnet in your life. Let me introduce you to a practice that has transformed the financial destiny of countless prosperity seekers, one that's deceptively simple, yet profoundly powerful. Each evening before you close your day, take just a few moments for gratitude journaling specifically focused on money. Write down 3 things that happened during your day that brought financial blessing, no matter how seemingly insignificant. Perhaps you discovered a discount on your groceries that saved you a few dollars. Maybe you found a forgotten coin in your coat pocket. Or possibly someone bought you coffee, saving you that expense. What makes this practice so transformative isn't the magnitude of these financial blessings, but the deliberate act of acknowledging them. By writing them down and expressing genuine gratitude, you're engaging in a profound form of consciousness training. You're literally rewiring your mind to notice abundance instead of lack. This represents a complete reversal of the default programming most people operate from, scanning for what's missing rather than what's present. The revelation that changes everything is understanding that what you consistently notice expands in your reality. This isn't wishful thinking. It's perceptual science. Your reticular activating system, the filtering mechanism in your brain that determines what you perceive from the millions of stimuli bombarding you each moment, begins prioritizing evidence of financial blessing rather than scarcity. You start seeing abundance opportunities that were always there, but previously invisible to your lack-focused perception. The transformation journey deepens when you maintain consistency with this practice. Something that appears almost magical begins to unfold. You start feeling abundant before seeing substantial physical evidence of wealth. This shift in your emotional state represents one of the most significant milestones in your prosperity evolution. That feeling, that inner certainty of abundance, becomes the powerful magnet that draws more prosperity into your experience. This illuminates a hidden truth about how the universe operates. It doesn't respond to wanting or needing, it responds to knowing. When you merely want money, you're broadcasting the frequency of lack. When you know abundance is yours, you broadcast the frequency of already having. The universe can only match your dominant vibration. It can't give you what you want, only what you are. Your inner state of abundance literally creates your outer experience of wealth. Behind the scenes of this process lies a fascinating neurological and energetic transformation. As your brain forms new neural pathways associated with financial abundance, your entire decision-making apparatus shifts. You begin making choices from a place of sufficiency rather than scarcity. Your creativity expands because it's no longer constrained by fear-based limitations. Your ability to recognize opportunities accelerates because your perceptual filters are tuned to possibilities rather than problems. This internal shift creates a corresponding external shift that often appears mysterious to outside observers. They may wonder why you seem to get all the breaks financially when they don't see the inner work you've been doing. They're looking for external causes to your prosperity when the true catalyst has been your transformed consciousness. This revelation empowers you to take radical responsibility for your financial reality rather than attributing it to luck, circumstances, or other people. If you've experienced how shifting your focus from scarcity to abundance has created positive changes in your life, type "abundance consciousness activated" in the comments. Now let's explore how keeping money in constant, healthy circulation dramatically increases your prosperity flow. Now I want to share a fundamental principle that transforms your entire financial experience once you truly grasp it. Money, like air, must move freely to maintain its vitality. When you hoard it out of fear or anxiety, it energetically suffocates, losing its power to multiply in your life. Conversely, when you circulate it with faith and positive intention, it naturally expands and returns to you multiplied. This circulation principle operates as one of the most powerful laws in the prosperity universe. Let me be clear. This doesn't mean being reckless or impulsive with your spending. It means being generous, wise, and staying in the natural flow of abundance. The key difference lies in the consciousness behind your financials. Movements. When fear drives your decisions, even careful saving becomes energetic hoarding that repels further abundance. When faith guides your choices, even significant spending becomes an investment that attracts multiplied returns. Try this transformative practice. Whenever you spend money, whether paying bills, making purchases, or giving to others, mentally bless that transaction by declaring, "This money blesses everyone it touches and returns to me multiplied." This simple declaration infuses your financial energy with positive intention, transforming ordinary transactions into sacred exchanges. You're no longer just buying groceries, you're participating in the divine circulation of abundance. This revelation challenges the conventional perspective that views spending as loss and receiving as gain. In truth, both are equal parts of the same prosperity cycle. The enlightened approach recognizes that money flowing out with positive intention creates the energetic vacuum that draws more back to you. This understanding liberates you from the scarcity mentality that anxiously clutches every dollar, ironically preventing the very abundance you desire. Now I want to dismantle one of the most destructive myths in our collective consciousness, the belief that you must struggle to earn money. This outdated perspective, deeply rooted in fear-based thinking, has created unnecessary suffering for generations of sincere, hard-working people. The revolutionary truth is that the universe doesn't reward your suffering, it rewards your alignment. The more you harmonize with ease, joy, and meaningful service, the more abundantly prosperity flows into your life. This insight doesn't diminish the value of dedicated effort or discount the dignity of work. Hard work remains honorable when it springs from inspiration rather than desperation. The critical distinction lies in the energy behind your actions. When you struggle from anxiety, resentment, or fear, you actually block the very prosperity you're working so hard to create. Your effort becomes counterproductive despite your sincere intentions. The mindset breakthrough happens when you recognize that ease and abundance aren't opposed to effort, they're complementary to it. The most financially successful people aren't necessarily working harder than everyone else. They're working from a different consciousness. They've mastered the art of inspired action rather than desperate striving. This paradigm shift represents one of the most significant decisions you can make on your prosperity journey, choosing alignment over struggle as your operating principle. If you've been caught in the exhausting cycle of believing that financial success requires struggle and sacrifice, type "freedom from struggle" in the comments. Let's explore how to create a simple but powerful daily money routine that activates all these principles simultaneously. Now let's simplify everything we've discussed into a practical, daily framework that integrates all these powerful principles. The most profound transformations don't come from complex systems, but from simple practices applied consistently. Your daily money routine should follow this natural rhythm. Morning, command your money with gratitude and expectation. This is when your mind is fresh and receptive, perfect for setting the energetic template for the day ahead. Speak your prosperity declarations with calm authority, feeling the truth of them in your body, not just your mind. Afternoon, consciously notice opportunities, ideas, and people aligned with your financial growth. This midday practice activates your reticular activating system to filter for prosperity rather than scarcity. When someone mentions a new project, When an unexpected idea surfaces, or when you encounter information that could lead to abundance, acknowledge these as direct responses to your morning commands. This mindful awareness strengthens the connection between your inner declarations and your outer experience. Evening, review your financial wins, no matter how small, and express genuine gratitude for each one. This completes the prosperity cycle, creating powerful momentum for the next day. The beauty of this three-part rhythm lies in its elegant simplicity. No unnecessary complexity, no time-consuming rituals, just consistent alignment with the natural abundance of the universe. This straightforward approach allows you to maintain your practice regardless of how busy your schedule becomes. The journey of financial transformation often seems overwhelming until you break it down into these manageable daily practices. Each step builds upon the previous one, creating a momentum that eventually becomes unstoppable. The revelation that changes everything is recognizing that massive change doesn't require massive action. It requires aligned action taken consistently. Small practices maintained daily create more profound results than grand gestures performed occasionally. Now I want to offer you one immediate, tangible step that will activate these principles in your life today. Find a coin, any denomination, and hold it in your hand. Look at it, smile genuinely, and say with quiet conviction, "You multiply every day. You grow and return to me in divine order." Place this coin somewhere special, perhaps on your desk, nightstand, or in a specific section of your wallet. This symbolic act serves as a physical anchor for your new prosperity consciousness. What makes this simple practice so powerful is that it bridges the gap between abstract concept and tangible reality. The coin becomes a physical representation of your financial commands. Each time you see it, your subconscious receives a reminder of your new relationship with money. This seemingly small ritual actually communicates a profound message to your deeper mind. I expect growth. The universe responds accordingly. As you begin noticing small signs of financial increase in your life, consciously celebrate them. Perhaps you receive an unexpected discount, find money you'd forgotten about, or have an inspired idea that creates value. These aren't random coincidences, but direct confirmations that your coin activation is working. Each acknowledgement of these prosperity breadcrumbs strengthens your manifestation momentum. Gratitude functions as the key that keeps the abundance gate open, allowing your financial blessings to multiply daily. This practice initiates an upward spiral of prosperity consciousness. The coin serves as both symbol and catalyst for your financial transformation. It becomes the physical embodiment of your decision to command money rather than chase it, to direct it rather than fear it, to multiply it rather than merely manage it. If you're ready to activate this coin practice today, type "activating money multiplication" in the comments. Let's explore how the science of energy frequencies actually supports everything we've been discussing. You've now discovered the secret command that transforms your entire financial reality, the power to speak to money in a language it understands and obeys. This journey we've taken together isn't just about financial techniques. It's about reclaiming your sovereignty as the commanding presence in your prosperity story. The principles we've explored work whether you believe in them or not, just as gravity doesn't require your faith to function. As you implement these practices in your daily life, you'll begin noticing subtle shifts that eventually create massive transformation. Remember, what seems like coincidence to others is simply confirmation to you, evidence that you're aligning with the natural laws that govern prosperity. Each small win becomes a stepping stone to greater abundance. If you found value in these revelations today, I'd love for you to join our community of conscious creators by subscribing to this channel. We explore these principles regularly, digging deeper than conventional financial advice ever dares to go. Each video is designed to activate another dimension of your prosperity consciousness without wasting your precious time. I'm curious to know what resonated most deeply with you today. If you've stayed with me until this point, type "Money obeys my command" in the comments. This simple act actually reinforces your commitment to these principles while connecting you with others on the same journey. If you appreciated our time together, a simple like on this video helps others discover these transformative principles too. It's a small gesture that creates ripples of positive impact as more people reclaim their financial sovereignty. There's a video right here that reveals the next level of this money mastery journey: how to program your subconscious mind for automatic wealth attraction while you sleep. Click and continue with me over there, because what you've learned today is just the beginning of your prosperity transformation. You've now discovered the secret command that transforms your entire financial reality: the power to speak to money in a language it understands and obeys. This journey we've taken together isn't just about financial techniques. It's about reclaiming your sovereignty as the commanding presence in your prosperity story. The principles we've explored work whether you believe in them or not, just as gravity doesn't require your faith to function. As you implement these practices in your daily life, you'll begin noticing subtle shifts that eventually create massive transformation. Remember, what seems like coincidence to others is simply confirmation to you, evidence that you're aligning with the natural laws that govern prosperity. Each small win becomes a stepping stone to greater abundance. If you found value in these revelations today, I'd love for you to join our community of conscious creators by subscribing to this channel. We explore these principles regularly, digging deeper than conventional financial advice ever dares to go. Each video is designed to activate another dimension of your prosperity consciousness without wasting your precious time. I'm curious to know what resonated most deeply with you today. If you've stayed with me until this point, type "Money obeys my command" in the comments. This simple act actually reinforces your commitment to these principles while connecting you with others on the same journey. If you appreciated our time together, a simple like on this video helps others discover these transformative principles too. It's a small gesture that creates ripples of positive impact as more people reclaim their financial sovereignty. There's a video right here that reveals the next level of this money mastery journey: how to program your subconscious mind for automatic wealth attraction while you sleep. Click and continue with me over there, because what you've learned today is just the beginning of your prosperity transformation.